hear you now.
Can you?
Hmm.
Like through. Hello? 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 Can you hear me, Stephanie? I see a yay. I see a yay. I see a yay. Sorry, I've got my tech guy working behind the scenes, so I'm just trying to make sure everything is good, everything is working. Yeah, they're saying it's good, John. Sound is thumbs up. Oh. Okay, so sorry everybody. Thank you, John. Thank you, John B. Always at my beck and call on Sundays. Poor guy. He's probably sick of hearing me. But thank you for your patience, everybody. Sorry about that. As I was saying, I hope you're all doing well. Stephanie, I was sending out healing energy for your mom and, positive vibes for her speedy recovery. So I hope that we can get her through whatever it is she's going through. Hopefully everybody comes back. But how are you guys doing? How is everybody? John. Who have we got in here? I see a couple of people. Sorry, everybody watching now and watching later. Tech issues really frustrate me. So, thank you so much for being patient. And it's so warm in here. I had my fan really close, and I thought maybe that was interfering, so pushed it back. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm hoping everybody comes back. Whew. Tried to share. Oh, well, thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's all good, girl. It's all good. What did you do to get restricted? I don't think that's ever happened to me. I don't think. Hi, Bethany. Welcome. Giving folks a couple minutes to come back. Come back to the group. First, political posts aren't allowed even in meme form. Oh, well. A little bit touchy, a little bit sensitive, are they? Hey, Mama Joe. Yes. Hi, Soph. Yes, I had to make an emergency SOS call to my tech guru, my tech guy, my brother in spirit, Jonathan, to get me sorted out. Bless him, he's always there when I need him. And I don't even know. He pushes buttons and does things, and then poof, things work. So that's how I like it. That is how I like it. How is everybody doing? How you doing, Soph? How you doing, Troy? There's posts like 2 years ago and a year ago. It was yeah. Nice, nice, Stephanie. Nice. I love it. All right, folks. We got off to a little bit of a late start. I'm well, thanks. I'm well. Missing all the company and the hustle and bustle. I had my sister and my nephew with me for the last week and a bit. So it was very busy. It was very, very, I don't want to say chaotic because I love having them here, but those of you who have kids know that a 5-year-old, especially a 5-year-old boy, they are a lot of work. They're a lot of energy. And, but we had a really, really good time. So I'm feeling very relaxed, very happy. So yeah, those videos are pretty great. My favorite has to be the I got dumped. Just the way he said it, it was so funny. And he'd been running around and avoiding that water dish thing that fills. I don't know if you guys have them down there, Stephanie, but it's like this giant bucket, for lack of a better term. And it's a water park, so there's constantly water pouring in, and it gets to a certain point and it dumps over and just splashes all the kids. And he'd been sort of playing chicken with it for a couple of hours. And then he got caught up in a conversation because he's like me and he's a talker. So he got caught up in a conversation with one of the friends that he made at the park, and he didn't see it coming, and I saw it, but I was trying to grab my phone and get it to video to get the moment where he got splashed, but I missed it. And I saw the part right after, and I started laughing, and then he looks over at me and he's laughing, and then he, runs over, and I'm saying to him, what just happened, buddy? I got dumped. It was just so funny. I loved it. Anyways. So yeah, so I'm very like high vibe, very positive energy right now. So I'm sending all that out to all of you, hoping that you're all feeling it too, and taking care of yourselves in the heat. Thankfully it's not the kind of weather we were having, a couple weeks ago, but it's still tough. Like, I was driving with a friend the other day and we saw this less fortunate person sitting, just kind of sitting and hoping someone would help him out. And I just, I said to my friend, like, I can't imagine these people without homes being out in the kind of heat that we had. For the American watchers, I think we tipped the temperature scales the one day at like 112 degrees or something like that. So it was really hot. Like, we broke records all up and through here. And so there's been a lot of people struggling, and my heart goes out to them. Anywho, let's get to some messages because of the late start. I won't keep you guys too long. So I hope you've had a chance to pick your stack. If you haven't, no problem. Either pick it now or just receive whatever message resonates. For anybody who's new to the group, new to watching, maybe you've not seen this kind of thing done before. These are general energy messages, so not everything is going to fit. Please don't try to make it fit. You take what resonates and you leave the rest. And as I said, even if you haven't picked a stack or a stone or however you want to pick this, there's usually a little bit of something in there for everyone. So again, receive what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. As it usually is with these messages, there's a recurring theme here. I'm sure you guys will pick it up quite quickly. But we're going to get started with the first stack on the left, which is the, I know this is kind of not quite left, but sort of. This is the red tiger's eye stone. Really good, powerful stone. This week I'm using the Light Seers Tarot, the Wisdom of the Oracle, and the Soul Coaching Oracle cards. Okay, so in stack number 1, which is the red stone. Hi, Bon. Hey, B. It's okay, we had some technical difficulties, so we're just getting started. Okay, so stack number 1, the red tiger's eye, we have the Ace of Swords. Oops, let's hold her so you guys can see her. Now I'm picking her nose. Sorry, lady. Ace of Swords, Really great card. I love the visual of this card. We have Go the Distance, and we have Peace. So when I'm looking at these cards and when I was channeling the message, they kind of wanted me to start with Go the Distance. And the first thing I heard is that this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. And this is about life. Like, this is about the whole life. And the message here is we're in this for the long haul. We need to tap into our endurance. We need to tap into our strength to make it to that, you know, quote unquote finish line. Right? Stay true to who we are. Stay true to ourselves. Don't worry about the fluctuations. You know, the ups and downs in life. We're going to have success. We're going to have some periods of challenge and stagnancy is the word I'm hearing. We're going to have that. I mean, it can't all be balls to the wall, right? And when we think about a marathon versus a sprint, you kind of start slower. You pace yourself through things. You know, when you see yourself ahead, you kind of take a second, you know, take a beat and kind of get yourself back into a rhythm that's comfortable, and then you ramp it up, and then you slow it down again and you ramp it up. I might be wrong. I don't run marathons. I don't run at all, clearly. But this is how Spirit wanted me to deliver this message, is that, you know, there's going to be those fast forward periods, and then there's going to be the rest periods, and that's okay. That's okay. Because we're in this for the long haul. So don't worry about all that. You know, the down or the slower periods. This is the time to rest. This is time to reflect. You know, when we're talking spiritually, energetically, that's what those periods are. That's what that time is for, to rest, recuperate, reflect, release. Sometimes we pick up different energies along the way that we don't need for the next leg of our journey. So it's a journey. It's a journey. It's not a one and done. It's not one day and then the next day everything's fine. No. We keep going. We keep going, and we ebb and flow with the energy around ourselves. And that's what this card is. And that's what they wanted. What I heard when I was channeling the message for this stack was that some of us might be feeling a bit of frustration, like we're not making the progress we wanted to make. But that's okay. That's okay. Because everything, I say this to you guys every week, if it is for you, it will not miss you. Everything happens in divine timing. And it's not necessarily for us to know when certain things are supposed to happen, when those blessings, when those miracles, when that success is supposed to be ours. Because if we focus on that part of it, we might miss an important lesson, which actually prolongs us claiming and receiving those blessings. So we have to get in that mindset of going the distance. Okay? Now, the next card they wanted me to talk about in this stack is the Ace of Swords. And this card for me really screamed, and the message was very clear. Clarity. This is about communication. You see how wide open her throat is? Like, I really thought I heard throat chakra when I was looking at this card. And I looked at how long and open her neck is, where her throat chakra would be. It's very much open, and she's opened her mind. And you know what's funny, you guys, is that when I looked at this card and when I was trying to channel the message, I might be aging myself here, but you guys remember that song from En Vogue, Free Your Mind, and the rest will follow? That's what I kept hearing as I looked at this card. And then looking at her, how open and free her mind is. It's a stairwell, and we don't know if it's going in or coming out. This information, this divine light, it doesn't matter. This is part of the journey, is giving and receiving of that energy, that communication, that knowledge. and that spiritual freedom. So this is what this card in this message this week really spoke to me as I channeled it. This is also about truths coming out, and again, the openness of where her throat chakra would be, and this divine light, this source light that's coming in or going out. This is about truths being revealed. And this might be, I wondered, I always think about how these cards in these stacks sort of fit together. And, you know, when we're talking here about going the distance and everything else, and why I said, I feel like some of us might be a little bit frustrated or a little bit disappointed with our progress or lack of progress. And then this card about truths being revealed. So what I got from this is that there are some blockages that are about to be released. Whether we're blocking our own selves, you know, our throat chakra, our crown and third eye chakras, this, you know, it looks a bit like a snail shell, but it's sort of where it's placed is her crown and her third eye. So this is about truths being revealed, things coming to light that perhaps have been causing these blockages and this lack of progress in our lives. So the message here was to really just be open. Because when we open ourselves this way, especially these top 3 chakras, when we open ourselves up, we open ourselves to new opportunities, new expansions, new forms of growth, new forms of peace. I say that because we got the peace card in this one as well. And I honestly, you guys feel like whoever picked this stone, or maybe even if you didn't actually pick this stone or this stack, but there are some in the group, there are some in the collective that are about to go through a very, very, very powerful transformation. A life-changing event. I actually wrote it down. Life-changing event is coming up. So we have to go the distance, right? Keep running, keep our cheetah here in the race, because what's coming is like mind-blowing. And that was the other thing that I wrote down, because this would be, if you were to draw mind blown, this is what it looks like, right? Her mind is like literally blowing out of her head. So this is something big that's coming. But in order to achieve it, and we're getting to the last card in this stack, is peace. And I said it before that everything happens in divine timing. And this is what this card is about. So this card is the soul coaching. This is sort of the message that our souls want us to hear. That's what these cards in this deck, sort of the message that they give. And the message here is that tranquility is the awareness that all is unfolding according to divine planning and divine timing. And we have to be at peace with that. Be at peace with us not knowing where the finish line is and when we will get there, and trusting that the universe will give that to us. And you see how she's sitting on the moon? I'm very connected to the moon. I love the moon. We've just come through a new moon. You know, so that energy is still here. It lingers for a few days before, it shows up a few days before and lingers for a few days after the actual day of the full moon, night of the full moon. And the moon is a huge tool in manifesting. And so I felt like this was really symbolic in this card as well, or in this message, that some of us perhaps need to start using the moon a little bit more to go that distance, to find that finish line that we're looking for. We know it's not really look at this finish line. It's in the middle of the bloody desert. This is not at the end of the world. This is not all of a sudden the scenery changes and we're moving on. This is smack dab in the middle of the damn desert. So really, have you finished anything? No. But this is like symbolic of a beginning and an ending, right? In these spiritual, you know, in terms of spiritual energy and things like that, there is never a start and a stop. sorry, I shouldn't say it like that. There's never a complete ending. An ending is the beginning of something else. An ending of one phase is the beginning of another phase. And again, we're talking about the moon, right? Full moon, new moon, those are beginnings and endings. So we use that, right? We use that. And again, that's that ebb and flow. It's the same idea. You see how this message kind of is resonating, how it's fitting together? So finding peace, though, being at peace with the timeline of when these blessings, when these changes, when these cycles begin and end, being at peace with that, and just trust your spirit team, trust your spirit guides, trust the universe. I said it in the beginning, I'm going to say it again, and you're going to hear it 101 more times from me probably if you continue to tune in on Sundays. But if it is for you, it will not miss you. So stop worrying about it. Do the work right now to make room and make space for what's coming and what the universe has in store for you. Woo! That was a big one. I hope that resonated with those of you that picked, again, this was the first stone, the red stone, red tiger's eye. I hope that resonated with you guys. I definitely got a message there for myself, so I hope that you did as well. And let's see, what are you guys talking about? We've gotten out of time. Oh, okay, Bon. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in even when you have company. Yes, I claim it too, Stephanie. Hell yes. If you only knew. Pick the first deck and just wow. Oh, good. I'm glad that resonated with you, Bethany. A lot of what we discussed. There's no such thing as coincidence. None whatsoever. Okay, moving on. I have stack number 2, the center stack, which is the white stone. This is a snow quartz. And we have... I love this card. We have the Page of Cups. Pull it out a little bit so you can see it. Page of Cups. We have... why, and we have energy. Whoops, again, energy. There we go. Okay, so Spirit, which? Okay, they want me to start with the why. Why? And this is kind of, you guys, this is sort of where the messages sort of are going to start. You're going to see the connection. And this is why I say there might be something in all 3 stacks for you. It's not necessarily one stack, for each person. Lots could resonate in all the stacks. Jonathan, I don't pick stones anymore because every message has been for me, right? I never did pick. I know, like when I'm pulling the cards on a Sunday morning and meditating and channeling the messages, I don't pick nothing because I'm all like, I already know, Spirit, you guys are talking to me through all of these cards, so it's fine. But anyway, so we're going to start with why. And this is a very simple message. Every time I get this card, every time I pull this card in a reading, the message is the same. And it is that you have to ask yourself why you want the things you want. It's not enough to just want, I want $1 million. I want a new home. I want a partnership, a relationship, a romantic pairing. I want children. I want money. Like, it's not enough to just want what we want. We need to ask why. Why do I want that? What is that going to do for me? How is that going to benefit me? And yes, there are the obvious answers. Having more money means I can live the life I want and all the rest of it. But we have to dig deeper than that. We have to look at the spiritual why. And what is this going to do for me spiritually? There are a lot of people who, you know, when you hear about these people who win big lotteries and things like that, huge abundance overnight, but they are not spiritually ready, and they end up destroying themselves over it. So those of us that are working towards a more financially stable life, financial abundance, material wealth, all that kind of stuff, those of us who are just not relying on things like a lottery to happen, we have the opportunity to really ask that deep question of why. Why do I even want that? How is that going to help me spiritually? And when we can answer that question, what we end up doing is creating the energy within ourselves that will align with us receiving that kind of wealth. And I'm picking on wealth because that's the one that I know. I've seen the stories. I've read, articles and things like that about people who come into wealth, in a very quick way, and they're not spiritually and energetically ready for it, and what that does. And again, when I was reading this card, that's kind of the picture that I saw in my head, is that we want all these things that we think are going to make our lives better, but we really don't think about how it will make us as spirits, as souls, how it will make us better. How will it actually benefit us? And so this is why this card came up, because I feel like, there are a lot of people, not just, watching right now, but people that we encounter all throughout our lives, in all of our different circles and groups, whatever it is. And we hear a lot of these huge ambitions. And sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but for me, sometimes I'm looking at the person and I'm hearing them say this list of things that they want. And I'm looking and I'm asking in my head, why? Why do you want that though? Because I don't think you can handle it. Now, you have to be very careful. You don't want to shoot someone's dreams down. But I think it's important for us to ask that of ourselves when we're making our Christmas lists, so to speak, for our lives. Ask why we want that thing, that event, that situation. Why do we want it? When we're clear about our why, our intentions become a magnet. Right? When we've really defined the why for what it is we want, it becomes an intention, and that intention becomes a magnet for that blessing to come to us. And that's the purpose. That's the message that Spirit wants us to have right now. It is important to ask why, but understand why we're asking why as well, so that we can actually create that space for that thing, that situation, that event, that whatever it is we're asking for and working towards. We create the space for it to actually get to us. And Spirit doesn't have to do as much of the work. This is the work that we have to do. Which one do you guys... Okay, well, I grabbed this one, so obviously this is the one. The Page of Cups. This is about creativity. This is about new and unexpected opportunities. It's about motivation. The message I heard here is anything is possible. Look at this, you guys. There is a pig flying. There's a dude flying. A person. I shouldn't say a dude, but there's a person flying. This looks to me, I know it gets fuzzier when I get up close, but this looks to me like essentially a bowl of gold, a pot of gold. And this guy here, this person here, is just sitting and thinking about that stuff. And what happens with our thoughts? I say this all the time. Mindfulness is the key to manifestation. He is mindful of what he's thinking about. What is this? Oh, it's kind of hard to see because it's almost in like shadows, but like light shadows. But this is like two hands kind of doing one of these, like coming together, two hands. And I don't know what that is in the middle. It's just a blob of color. But, again, this is, we've got financial wealth, right? Financial stability. We've got love, partnership. I'm not really sure what the pig flying or this person flying is all about. Maybe just the impossible dream. And again, I'm hearing a song. To dream the impossible dream. I don't know the rest of the song. That's the only part I'm hearing. I'm sure it'll come to me later. But, so dream the impossible dream. And that's what this Page of Cups is representing for us, is it's time to start thinking bigger. Be open to miracles. Find inspiration in absolutely everything. Because if you get inspired by even little things, that little inspiration becomes a dream. And dreams become intentions, and intentions become manifestations. You see how that works? It builds. Maybe he just started thinking about a relationship, thinking about they're ready for love. And that just opened the mind up to all these other things. Well, maybe pigs can fly, and maybe, a pot of gold will just fall in my lap. Maybe the person I'm looking for is floating in space looking for me. Right? All these things started with just one thought, one moment of mindfulness. So it's really important that we be open to anywhere that these miracles can come from. And finding that inspiration in absolutely anything and everything. Because that will unlock our creativity. That will create new and unexpected opportunities for growth, for blessings, for peace, for happiness, for spiritual enlightenment and freedom. Like, so many things can happen if we just open our minds and our hearts up. And then the last card for this stack is energy. And I don't think I read what was on the bottom of the other one, but I'll read this. It says, healing energy and immense vitality flow through me easily and effortlessly. And this card, it's kind of what I was saying before, you guys, about a thought becomes a dream becomes an intention becomes a manifestation. This is what this card is talking about. You can change the energy within you. You can change your own energy. Asking the why is the stepping stone to that. Understanding why you feel what you feel, understanding why you want what you want, that changes the energy, right? You understand it better. It's not just a random thought that you're like, oh, that's weird, I don't know where that came from. No, this now becomes an actual a stream of consciousness. This becomes mindfulness. This becomes that thought, that dream, that intention, that manifestation. So you have the power within you to change the energy inside of you and change the energy around you. It's not just an internal thing. Remember that. Look at this guy. It's not just internal. This is also external, right? This is also the external stuff. So it's important to understand that your energy does affect the energy around you, and vice versa. You can be affected by the energy around you, but you also have the power to change it, to transmute it into something positive, something productive. You have that power. And why that is so important is because energetically we can block those blessings, those manifestations. We can think we're working really, really hard, but we're not changing the energy around us. And if we don't do that, we're going to block the blessing. So we have to be very mindful, and we have to understand how we can change the energy around us and within us. This is also about healing. Reading this card, healing energy and immense vitality flow through me. We have the power to heal ourselves. So some of those blockages are from, energy that we've held on to from traumas, from events that have happened, that we've held on to that weren't for our highest and greatest good. But this is a reminder to us that we can, and this is what our souls want us to know, is that it is important to feel what we feel. We need to acknowledge it. We need to thank it. And then we need to set it free. And I actually had this conversation with someone very close to me a couple of days ago. And I said, self-love is and they made me sort of replay that whole conversation, but self-love is sort of the first step. If we are not loving ourselves and everything about ourselves, we're not going to be able to transmute any of the energy around us. It's going to stick to us. It's going to affect us, and we in turn will affect the energy around us back. You know what I'm saying? So I really felt self-love in this one. And look, this card is like all yellow, which is the solar plexus, our personal power. You know, I talk about self-love as part of the heart, you know, when I'm dealing with the heart chakra, but I truly believe that the solar plexus, this is also orange, which is the sacral, I believe, the sacral chakra. And it could be considered red. I guess it goes kind of deeper red, which is the root chakra. Those lower chakras, I think, are very important to our own personal power, our own sense of who we are. And you cannot really have a sense of who you are if you don't have some self-love in there. And self-love is really, really, really super duper important. It's important for all the other manifesting all the other intentions that you are setting for yourselves. It all starts with self-love. And that's usually when I'm working with clients, that is usually where we start, is getting them comfortable with self-love. Then we move on to the other things, because I just truly believe it's part of our core. It's part of the root. So this energy card really spoke to me about that. And you know, Spirit kind of zinged me up my neck and said, yup, self-love, that's the one, preach. So that is the message for stack number 2, which was the snow quartz, the white stone. Mindfulness. Be aware of the energy within you and around you, and get to manifesting, okay? Get to manifesting. All right. Everybody still with me? Had a documentary on it, and they all went, yeah, they go bankrupt because they don't know how, they can't deal. They can't deal. Oh, you're welcome, Stephanie. Spirit works that way. They will tell you what you need to hear. Yep. And that's what I ask for, you guys, is I ask for messages, the messages that you guys need to hear. It might not always be what you want to hear, but it is what you need to hear in this moment. Okay, last stack, the blue one, and please don't ask me what stone this is, because I have no idea. It came in a kit, a set, and it had no descriptions of the stones. So blue stone, we'll call it that. And we have, this one. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have By the Book. Oops, let's move it this way. By the Book. And we have Truth. Sodalite. Hey, Marnes. Probably is Sodalite. Truth. Okay? So, Spirit, which way do you guys want me to go with this? Okay. They're liking the Wisdom being the first card out. And right off the bat, look at the number. Can you see the number on this card? It is number 11, which is the manifesting number. When you see 1111, when you see 111, you better set that intention. You better set it. So, have you figured out what the theme is? It's all about manifesting this week, you guys. Start manifesting. Use the energy of the new moon that just happened. Get to it. So By the Book. And this one is about, you know, we do things by the book, right? We conform. It's conforming to society's rules, cultural rules, familial rules, and all that. And what I kept hearing in the channel was limiting beliefs. There's a term, I just had it. Can you bring it back? It wasn't limiting beliefs. Like pre-programming, we grow up in our household, and there are certain rules, and maybe they're only in our household. They're not in, our friends, and that's why we want to go to our friends, because they don't live by those rules. Perhaps we grow up in a religious setting, and so there are those kinds of rules, like that community that we're involved in, cultural rules, like all of these things, right? And we're just told from birth that this is how it's supposed to be. Well, guess what, you guys? And I mean no disrespect to anybody's culture, anybody's family, anybody's religion, any of that. But the message was very clear. It is time to break those rules, or take a step back from those rules. Stop living by that book, because there is a bigger set of rules. And especially with this number 11, it all made sense to me. But the laws, the universal laws, those rules, the universal laws, they transcend. They sort of trump. They take precedence over any of the cultural, societal, familial, religious, like any of those rules. The universal laws, they take precedence over those. So if you are not familiar with universal laws, it is time to get familiar, because as much, even though I got excited about seeing this number 11, we have to remember, it is also a number 5. It is also a number 5 year. 2021, if you add all those numbers up, those digits up, equals the number 5. And 5 is the number of powerful transformation, divine change. Okay? So this year is a transformative year for everybody. And an important part of transformation is understanding these universal laws, the law of attraction, the law of karma. I wrote some of them down. The law of abundance, the law of prayer. It is time to learn so that we can we can assist our own manifestation. We can bring about our own manifestations. It is a time for transformation for everybody. So, and some of them I've heard of. I'm not gonna lie and tell you guys that I'm well versed in any of them. This was a message I literally felt the poke in the chest, like, hey, we're talking to you, learning some of these universal laws. I mean, I think I have the general idea of the law of karma, what goes around comes around, that kind of thing. But there are so many universal laws that a lot of us have never even heard of, right? This is the time to get to know some of those and understand how they work, so we can use them for our betterment. Not just physical, tangible things, and superficial things like money and all that, but like spiritual manifestations. I think that's really super duper important. And so this was like, this was the big message here, is that it's time to look at other, like, stop going by the book that you have been taught to work from. Find another book. Find another set of rules that works better for you. Okay, they want me to go to truth next. Truth. Find your truth. Live it. Breathe it. Be honest with yourself. Walk your talk. If you say it, do it. And this kind of goes back to, what was it? The first one about truths being revealed. What is your truth? Be honest with yourself. What is your truth? Why do you want what you want? Why are you chasing certain dreams? What do you think that's going to do for you? Right? And if it's truly because I want to be rich and famous, great. If that's your truth, fantastic. If that's what you believe is going to truly, be the best for you, great. As long as you know what that truth is and you are walking in it. That's the message of this. And it just says, I live my truth is what it says at the bottom. Release anything and anyone that does not align with whatever that truth is. Make room. This is the message that I was getting, is make room for your blessings by creating an open and honest path for them to come to you. That path needs to be built in truth. Straight up. And if anything crosses that path that is untruthful, let it go. Let it go. Because it's just going to become a block. It's just going to become a hurdle that your blessings, that your manifestations have to jump over, walk around, find a new way, whatever it is. Let's make it a little easier for spirit by clearing that path. Clearing that path of truth, and you watch how fast those things come to you. Those things that you are manifesting. You watch how fast they come. Yeah. They're like, that's good. That's what we said. And finally, you guys, for this week, the last card is the Ace of Pentacles. 2 aces, new beginnings, all up and through. And this one, for sure, is all about new ventures, new tasks, new ideas. And this is about planting the seeds for your future. You see these roots? They need to go somewhere. We need to get them in the ground. And planting the seeds for our future, planting the seeds, and not just the future here in the physical world, planting the seeds for our spiritual futures, the future of our souls. This is releasing karmic debt. This is healing ancestral trauma. This is creating generational wealth and health. This is all of those things. Manifest. This is the power of manifestation. You see these hands, look at how dirty they are. Look at how dirty they look, because they've been digging the hole. They dug the hole. They checked the viability of the soil that this seed is going to go to. They cleared out all the debris and stuff that wasn't supposed to be there, didn't need to be there. These hands did that work. And they loved and nurtured this seed until it took root. And now they're putting this seed where it will grow even more. It'll grow into what it's supposed to be. So this card is really about doing that work, right? We talked about truth, creating a path of truth for your blessings. This is that work. This is also, coincidentally, you see how this person is in the mirror? This, and how obvious the shadow is. This really said to me shadow work. Some of us need to, and I'm going to admit I am number one on the list of someone who needs to focus on some shadow work and really clear out those what did I say? The ancestral trauma, the past trauma, past life issues, like all of that stuff. I'm aware I have to do all that work too, to get my seed to start growing. So it's time, guys. We've got, what is it now? 4 or 5 months left in the year, in this number 5 year. And it's about transformation. Remember, this is a transformative year. So we've got some time, but we don't want to run out of time and not do that work, that spiritual work, to really set ourselves up for next year and the years to come. Yeah, Spirit's like, that's it. You're done. That's all we had to say this week. So I hope that those messages, you guys, if you're still with me, I hope that those messages resonated. I hope that you got something out of all of them. Really super duper powerful this week. And remember, I'm always here to help with healing, to help with just spirituality in general. So please check out my website, roseglow.com. Thank you again, John, for hooking me up there. But yeah, that's it for this week. I hope that you guys are all... Now Sopha's ready to break the rules. Now I feel like she's been a bit of a rule breaker her whole life a little bit. She's soon to be 8, but I'm just saying. My beautiful niece. But yeah, you guys, that is it for this week. Self-love, baby. Yes. For sure. So I will end the live. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, for tuning in, to all my new watchers. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Glow Getter tribe. Blah, blah, blah. And I hope to see you back. Until we meet again, please take care of yourselves. Be well on your journeys. I love you all so much, and I will see you next week. Good night. Take care.